Team preview season is back, and we are going to head down to Coral Gables, Miami, and talk about the Hurricanes, as this team has a lot of storylines around them. This team has a lot of, big questions, some maybe not questions around this team. I wanted to start off with the offense, and I wanted to start off with the quarterback position of Darian Mensah. Darian Mensah is kind of the key to this team's success in 2026. Like, if that's fair to say, I think that if Darian Mensah is successful in this upcoming year, that Miami's going to be successful in this upcoming year. This is probably one of the biggest reasons to be excited about Miami in this upcoming year. I mean, Mensah's coming off a monster season at Duke. Like, he led them to an ACC championship. He led them to, a 7-5 season. They won the ACC, though. That's not an easy thing to do, is to win your conference, win any conference. So he did that. He was, with nearly 4,000 passing yards last year, too. Very close to that. 34 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. Those are exceptional stats for Darian Mensah. And he's an exceptional player. So Darian Mensah looks like he's going to be the centerpiece of this offense. He moves to Miami, and he has a lot of better things than he had at Duke. That's another talking point, is you look at the things that he did at Duke. He won the ACC there. He had close to 4,000 yards. He had 34 touchdowns, as we just said earlier. But he moves to Miami and now gets a better supporting cast, a better receiver room, a better running back room. He gets more talent potentially at the offensive line. We'll dive into that in a second. He gets a stronger overall roster, most likely a better defense. So he gets all these things that are going to help him move to the next level of his game and become a better quarterback. Because we've seen flashes from him, and we've seen what he can do. Now we want to see the full potential of him unlocked at Miami. So I'm excited to see what he can do there. The question really isn't, can he become a Heisman contender? And the question is, can he become one of the best quarterbacks in the country? Because we know he's a Heisman contender. We know he's a top 10 Heisman guy. We know he's a top 7 Heisman guy. Can he be one of the best quarterbacks in terms of top 3 maybe? So that's my question for Darian Mensah. He's going to be a bright spot on this team no matter what. Now we can hit the running back room. We're kind of just going to go down the line here. The running back room looks insane for Miami. That is for sure. This team is loaded at running back. You have one of the deepest position groups on this roster. You got Mark Fletcher, who is going to be phenomenal. I mean, this guy is getting Derrick Henry comps. He's a bruiser. He's just a do-it-all running. He's a 4-down running back. Like, he's going to be in there every single play, no matter what the circumstances. You have Chamar Brown, who I think is going to be a phenomenal guy behind Mark Fletcher. You got Jordan Lyle. You got just so many names that maybe aren't the best name, like the most popular, aside from maybe Mark Fletcher, but they're really, really, really good players. So no complaints from me here in terms of the running back room. You can dive more into certain things on this team. You can dive into, or on the running back room, you can dive into maybe some physicality. Check with Mark Fletcher. He's a physical runner. He's powerful. Brown and Lyle give the Hurricanes kind of more explosiveness and versatility, in my opinion. So you're checking all the boxes. And this is exactly the kind of room that Mario Cristobal wants. He wants a big, physical, and deep running back room. We checked all those boxes. We got it with the Miami Hurricanes. Now, we can move on to the receiver room. This is where things get really exciting. This could be one of the most explosive position groups on the team. So we hit maybe one of the deepest. Now we can hit one of the most explosives. Starting off with the name everyone is watching. It's Malachi Toney. This guy is going to be a Heisman contender. This guy is probably a top 2, if not like top 3 receiver in college football, no doubt, in 2026. This is going to be one of the best players on this team as well, and he's going to help Darian Mensah too. He's going to be the guy that Darian Mensah can look at, and this is a guy he necessarily didn't have at Duke. He's going to have that 5-star incredible athlete who he can look at and say, okay, I need to throw the ball here. I'm getting pressured. Who can I throw it to? Who can I get a quick pass to? It's Malachi Toney. Slant. He can hit a post. He can get a go route. This guy is so good at what he does. Screen passes. It's so good. What else that frees up is the run game. Because then you got the safeties thinking, okay, I got to watch out for Malachi Toney. Got to watch out for Vendarius Jacobs, who's I think a sleeper in that wide receiver room. Got to watch out for Dylan Upshaw. Got to watch out for Joshua Moore. These are all guys that they have to watch out for as a safety. Then you give to Mark Fletcher. He gains, 6, 8, 10 yards per carry, breaks one for 20. Then your safeties start thinking, what are we going to do? We got to come up for the running back, stop the run. We got to drop back to stop the pass. There's all these elements that Miami has offensively that I think are going to create this unstoppable offense, if I may. What about the offensive line, though? Because none of this can work without a solid offensive line. This is one of the biggest questions on this team is whether or not they're going to have a really solid offensive line. Offensive line solid enough to compete offensively. Because if you don't have a good offensive line, all the things I just talked about, all those things then downstream of an offensive line don't work. So your offensive line is your centerpiece of your team. So, number one, this is the biggest question mark, I think, on their offense, as I said. They have talent here, but they're trying to establish exactly what the starting five will look like. That's kind of my question. They have talent, but they don't have a starting five that they're, slam dunk, home run. This is the five guys. Now, my favorite offensive line is Samson Okunola. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's Okunlola. I don't know how to pronounce that. You know who I'm talking about, though. He's one of the biggest names to watch on this offensive line, especially replacing guys like Francis Malinois to the draft. Multiple other guys as well. That is going to be one of the guys I'm going to keep my eye on in 2026 on this offensive line. We can go downstream of that. This is, important because Miami's entire team, the entire season, hinges on whether this offensive line works. And I'm trying to really pound this point home. They need it to work. Now, Mario Cristobal is an offensive line guy, and their offensive line coach is really good. So those two guys together are really going to put out a good offensive line product. Like, they're not going to let this be the really dark spot of their team. They're not going to let that happen. That's not what this Miami team is going to be. They're not going to be this team that had this great potential, but they couldn't get it done because of offensive line issues. That's not going to be the question. That's not going to be what is going to hold this team back, in my opinion. Mario Cristobal is going to get all that figured out. Now we move on to the defensive side of the ball. Spent a lot of time on offense. Didn't plan to spend that much time on there. Defensive line. Defensive line is something I'm looking out for. It has talent to be one of the better units in the ACC. Now, listen to what I didn't say. What I didn't say is they're going to be the best in the ACC. Said one of the best in the ACC. Key names include Justin Scott, Damon Wilson, who I think is going to be incredible, Hakeem Mesidor, another guy that is a monster. I mean, you saw him against Indiana. That guy was phenomenal in the national championship game. He was eating up offensive linemen's lunch. So he's going to be good there. So Justin Scott is kind of the massive interior presence for them to be able to, stuff the run and fill a gap. That's kind of where I see Justin Scott. While a guy like Damon Wilson gives Miami another extremely talented piece up front. He's going to be the guy that's going to get in there for sacks, that's going to get in there for tackles for loss, along with Hakeem Mesidor, who's also going to be getting in there. So those three key defensive linemen, I think, are going to be what really improves this defense and really gives them a shot to be one of the better defenses in the country. What about the secondary? This could be one of Miami's biggest strengths. I'm saying this about almost every position group. This is how high I am on Miami. You'll see when I release my preseason top 25, which is coming out on Sunday's show. You'll see whenever I give my full early college football playoff predictions for the 2026 season, which is coming up within a few weeks, I would assume. Probably early August, I would maybe be getting that out. I don't know, late July, we'll see. But this secondary could be one of the biggest strengths on this team. The Hurricanes have a lot of talent and athleticism in this secondary, including guys like Xavier Lucas, who are going to be phenomenal, Zachariah Poyser, You have Bryce Fitzgerald, Damari Brown, Omar Thornton. All those 5 names I just named are guys that can all make an impact here. You might not know all those names, and at first I didn't know all those names until I looked into them and I found that these guys are game wreckers. These are ball hawks, and these guys can all have the potential to be incredible. So take that list of 5 guys, and that's all you need, man. 3 solid corners, 2 solid safeties, and you're looking at a solid secondary for Miami. Lucas is one of the biggest names in the entire secondary and is entering 2026 as probably the key piece of this Miami defense, one of the key pieces. The secondary, like I said, is going to be excellent as long as they can be consistent. So that is the roster. Now we can touch on the schedule real quick. We'll get out of here on the schedule. So looking at Miami's schedule, it's not the toughest schedule in the world. This isn't like anything that's gonna, be the blocking point of them not being able to make the playoff like some other teams' schedules. Like you look at their schedule, they have at Stanford. Okay. You have Florida A&M. Okay. You go at Wake Forest, Central Michigan at home. You go at Clemson. All that before the bye week. There's really only one tough game there. And when I say tough, I mean like relatively a team that could beat you, and that's Clemson. And that's only if you screw up. I don't think Clemson's going to outright come and beat you, especially, you're going to Clemson, so it's going to be a little tougher, but I don't think they're going to outright beat you. Then you have a bye week. You have Florida State and Pitt at home. Take care of business there. You got at North Carolina, which is where I actually think is a potential look-ahead spot. So I'm working on team preview season right now. I've been making a bunch of YouTube shorts previewing a bunch of teams' entire schedule. Miami is coming up soon, so I'm not going to give you predictions on their schedule now because we're going to do that later. Looking at North Carolina, it's a trap game because you go to at Notre Dame the week after, and you have Pitt and Florida State coming into town before. So you're not looking at North Carolina playing Bill Belichick as like a big game, but I think it could be. Got to put your full attention on that game. Then you go Duke at home, Virginia Tech at home, Boston College at home. I only see one game on there that I think the team that you're playing has the better team. And it's Notre Dame, and I'm not even saying that they specifically have the better roster and the better team, but that's the only team that I think on here that could potentially just outright beat you. And that's, like I said, Notre Dame. No other team on the schedule is going to outright beat Miami, as long as they take care of business and play how they should. So 11-1's in the cards here. 12-0 is also here as well. I think 11-1's most likely. So that's Miami's entire team preview. If you are a Miami fan or just a college football fan, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you continue to watch all the other Miami videos, all the other college football videos on the channel, because that is all we do, college football year around. So that is Miami's full 2026 season preview.